Hey guys, Cat 72. Today I want to go over this bike rack that I got made by Allen, and it's a two bike rack for vehicle, and it's made for compact trucks and SUVs, and the model is an MT2. The reason why I want to go over with this with you guys is because I want to see how it's going to work on a 2013 Kia Soul. So that's what we're going to go over today with just installing it, see how long it takes, how tedious it is, or how simplified it is. All right guys, let's get started. Okay guys, hopefully first off we don't get any noise around us. I live near an airport, and San Antonio's been growing extremely fast, and traffic through the neighborhood's been coming a lot more frequently. So anyway, hope that doesn't disturb you guys. So let's go ahead and get this box open. They say it's pretty simple, so that's what we're gonna see. So right out of the box, you're gonna get some, looks like a little carrying case. Let me just show you what it looks like really quick. That's pretty cool. I guess so when you collapse it, and after you're done with your ride and you want to store it, they give you this nice little bag to store it in. It comes with straps, opens up. All right. Obviously comes with instruction manual. We might need it, we might not. It comes pretty well strapped with the rubber band, so stuff's not just flying everywhere. The weight to it is probably, if I had to guess, maybe 10 to 12 pounds maybe. It's aluminum. In case you're wondering, it also has, aside from the instruction pamphlet or paper, it also has instructions here. This is the first time I'm actually installing this. As you saw, it didn't take long for me to figure out how to pop it open. This is pretty much, I believe, is going to be the setup. And these legs, as you can see, will angle according to the type of vehicle you have. In my case, it would be kind of in this position. Depending how and where I want to mount it. These top straps, these top two straps up here that you see, they have this little, if you want to call it this, it's like a claw. And I only kind of already know about this because I watched a couple of YouTube videos, and this right here is what's going to go anchored, in my case, you where the body and frame meet on an opening part of the vehicle. In this case, it would be my, right there, it would be my tailgate. And then you do the same thing with the opposite side. I'll just demonstrate that for you now. Again, I've never installed this before ever on any of my vehicles. There you go. And then of course you're just going to pull this. I'm just doing a real quick rundown, guys. And then the bottom is going to have the exact same thing. It's going to have a hook, and in my case it's going to go, there's two options. It can either go far underneath the bumper, or in my case I'm going to try to put it right here on my gate, which basically would lift, and it's already on there. And then it's the same scenario. You would just pull down and strap it in to where it's tight. And then of course you would lift these up. Let me get you a little closer on this part. In this section here, guys, you would turn these upward because that's where your bike's actually going to go, strapped. And then of course you got a little padding here. This is like a rubber padding, and your bike frame would go on top, and then you would just strap it in to hold it. That's the distance from the rear to the back. I'd say it gives it about a good foot, 12 inches before the first bike frame gets connected. And I think, don't hold me to this, I think these expand a little further out. Hold on, let me double check that just to make sure. I could be wrong, but I believe they do. Hold on, let me set the camera back real quick. I think they extend, this one stays here stationary. I think this one extends a little further out so that the bikes have some clearance. And then again, like I said, it's about a foot, 12 inches from the point of contact to the first bike, and then from that bike to this. That's why I want to extend this out to see how far we get. Let me put the camera back real quick. All right. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, I figured it out, guys. I didn't see it earlier, but there's a little locking clip right there. So you would push this down or inward. Let me try to do this while I'm holding the phone, and then you would extend this out. There you go. So then I'd say you have an additional 6 inches for the next bike. So it's 12 inches, around 12 inches from the point of contact on the vehicle to the first bike, and then an additional 6 inches. So a total of about 18 to 19 inches clearance from the back of the vehicle. That's pretty cool. And then of course you just mount your bikes, and there you have it. I love it because the color matches my vehicle. That's pretty cool. But all right, guys, let me strap this in properly and get it all nice and set up, and then I'll come back and show you how it looks once I got it all set, because I want to adjust the height. I obviously don't want this to be here. I kind of want it right to be in between the name sole of the sole and then the actual handle. That's where I want it to rest. So let me adjust all that to the way I really like it, and then I'll come back and show you guys the finished result, and probably throw the Mongoose on there, because that's a pretty big bike. Oh, and by the way, guys, it holds a maximum of 35 pounds per bike, so it'll handle my fat bike, the Mongoose Dolomite, with no problem. All right, anyway, let me go ahead and get this all situated, and then we'll come back once it's all set up. But as you can see, guys, pretty much, it didn't take me that long. It took less than 5 minutes to get it all set up. I'm just gonna fine tune it to match it to fit my vehicle. All right, hold on. Okay guys, I adjusted it to the way I really want it. Like I said, I didn't want it touching the handle or compressing against the word soul. I could actually just adjust it a little bit further more if I wanted to, but for now I just want to show you how I pretty much got it set up. I'm gonna cut these. It's far too much length, just so that I don't have stuff flapping around when I'm driving. I'll probably cut it about here and here, just about on all of them, so we just don't have all that extra length flying around, especially down here. This one I probably cut it about right here. All in all, it's on there pretty freaking solid, you know. I can't see where this rack's going to cause any problems. I think it's going to work just fine. There's one thing I do want to mention. As you can see, mine had to get strapped to the glass. That's my fault. I didn't adjust it properly. I pushed it in right now. So what I'm probably going to do is on these, let me open it up to show you real quick, guys. If you happen to have a hatchback that has glass, now if you look at the glass, there's actually metal underneath. The problem is that the majority of the curve of the hook rests on the glass itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some styrofoam padding on these. That way when I put them on, and I mean, again, when you strap these, you're not going all full force hardcore. You're just making it snug, you know what I mean? So that way the vibration and movement won't cause the glass to break. So again, that's the only precaution I see, is that if you have a hatchback where it's going to meet against the glass, you're definitely going to want to put some padding on the hook, so that way the vibration doesn't cause any damage to your glass, because these are metal. They're metal claws, if you want to call them that. But other than that, guys, I think it's pretty awesome. It fits really snug. Let me go ahead and cut these off real quick, and then I'm going to roll out the Dolomite, and we're going to hang that big bad boy up on here and see how it looks. And yeah, we'll go from there. Let me close this up again. Yeah, and as you can see, closing it doesn't affect the side of the body trim, and it doesn't affect the glass. I can open and close it with those hooks on there with no problem. Okay guys, let me go ahead and get my bike ready to mount it up there. So real quick, guys, let me just show you a quick little trick here. Pretty much I cut all these and left them about the same amount of trim on each one, because you can imagine driving down the road and having these things flapping, and that's how much excess was left over, which is a good thing, because it all depends on the size of vehicle you have. You might need that. In my case, I didn't need all that extra slack because my car is little. But anyway, I was going to show you guys, once you cut them, in case you're concerned about this stuff here, just get a lighter, and all you got to do is just burn the edges. It'll melt and it'll seal itself up. Let me see if I can demonstrate that here for you guys real quick. It's hard trying to mount this camera in places that you simply just can't, you know. All right, that looks good. So it's kind of windy, but anyway, so here all you would do is just and don't burn yourself, and there you go. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but it melts itself together, and there's no more loose I don't know if you want to call that thread or whatever, nylon. And there you go. That's an easy fix. I'll do it on this one as well. Maybe you can catch it on the camera. I'm sure some of you already knew this, but in case some don't. Ah, that wind. There you go. Simple fix. Anyway, just wanted to show you that, guys, that. All right, let's bring out the Dolomite and see how that bad boy's gonna look on here. All right, hang on, guys. Okay, guys, there it is. As simple as that. Got it all strapped in. Any issues that I see with that? Not really. The clearance is pretty distant, but I do want to show you guys, if you're going to be stopping and braking, the bike will be doing this. So if you have metal paddles, or even nylon for that matter, you might want to put a padding around that just to prevent it from hitting your finish of your vehicle. The other thing I noticed too is that the handlebars will rotate back and forth, but that can easily be resolved by putting a strap, you know, a bungee cord, if you will. Sorry about the loud noise, guys. Like I said, San Antonio's growing so rapid. We never used to have that much traffic running through this street. Now it's like ridiculous. But anyway, as I was saying, you can probably run a bungee cord to hold it in this angle, or, you know, to hold it in place. So there's just a few minor little tweaks. Again, what I see is the fact that this will be swinging back and forth as you're driving, as you can see. And then the fact that the bike will end up swaying back and forth like this when you come to a stop and go. So again, that's easily resolved by putting a padding on the pedal, or in fact you might even be able to do something like put something here, and that will stop it from moving around. If you can put like a padding of some sort right there, that might stop it from moving. And then, yeah, other than that, guys, I think it's an awesome bike rack. Can't wait to take the Dolomite out. All right, guys, just wanted to share that with you. And then, like I said, when you're done with your ride and you're putting up your bike, it's real simple to take off, and they give you this nice little storage pouch. I think that's pretty cool. So you can store it away and put it in your car for another day. All right, guys, well, I appreciate you watching Cast 72. Peace out.